Well, hi there, and welcome to my garage again on a very, very cold Saturday afternoon. Frankly, it's fucking freezing in here. And before I get into the content of today's video, just to say that closing out the quality issues from the factory on the K1600, the finance has been cleared by BMW, and I'm sure that will be up for sale very soon at Dick Lovett's. So keep an eye out for that if you're in the market for one. Anyway, the purpose of today's video is I've mentioned a couple of videos recently about a trip that I've got coming up. In fact, I was going to do 2 trips. I'm now only doing 1, but it is a big trip. And the preparation for it is sort of starting now, really. So in May, I'm going on a journey of about 7,000 miles. And that series of videos will be called 7,000 Miles for No Good Reason, which is the reason I'm doing it. There is no good reason to do this. And I wanted to detail today the sort of very approximate route I'm taking with a list of the stops that I'm going to make. And the stops that I list aren't exact stops. Most of them aren't. It was just to give me a sense of sort of 300-mile rides between stops to get everything in where I wanted to go. So, firstly, I'll chuck a map on the screen, which you can see here. And that is the approximate route. So I'm obviously starting in the Bristol area, heading over the channel through Germany, into Scandinavia, and back down and all the way down to Morocco. But I will show you the sort of the planned itinerary I've got. I'm sure some of you will have something to say about it, but that'll be interesting nonetheless. So yeah, as you can see on the screen here are the places I'm planning to go. So home to Folkestone, Calais to Houten in Holland, that's for a work thing. Houten to Hamburg, Hamburg to Odense, that's staying with some family. A few days there. Then Odense to Gothenburg, then Gothenburg to Kristiansand, so Sweden and into Norway, on the south coast of Norway, and that's for a work thing. Staying there for a few days. Then the big schlep south, so Kristiansand to Odense, back to some family for a night. Odense to Wolfsburg, Wolfsburg to Cheb, Cheb to Salzburg, Salzburg to Verduz, Verduz to Bern, Bern to Geneva, Geneva to Carcassonne, Carcassonne to Andorra, Andorra to Bilbao, Bilbao to A Coruña, A Coruña to Porto, that's a work stop, Porto to Lisbon, that's a work stop, Lisbon to Madrid. Now in Madrid I'm picking up a former colleague and friend of mine who's going to join me for the bit down to the next leg of the trip. So he's jumping on his bike, another BMW. So Madrid to Gibraltar, but not specifically Gibraltar. That was just easy for me to put it on the map. Then Gibraltar to Casablanca, Casablanca to Marrakech, Marrakech to Tangier, Tangier to Madrid, stopover, Madrid to Santander, and Santander to Plymouth, and Plymouth to home. So a fairly extensive trip. And I guess if you were to ask why I'm doing this because it's fucking stupid and it's going to be difficult. And I want a challenge in my life, honestly speaking. And why I say the planning of it starts now, I start with a personal trainer next Friday for 3 days a week for the next 4 months to get myself into shape. So there's a health benefit to this, and it's forcing me to do something about slowly turning into a middle-aged tubby fuck, which is no bad thing. The bike's going to go through a transformation. Interestingly, it's getting wrapped on the 10th of next month for 3 days. I'm going away from the trophy colours. I'm sure of you will have something to say about that, but the colours I picked I like. Then I've got to put a load of protection stuff on it and then start playing out all the kit I'm taking. The 2 challenges I've got, I suppose, is I will get it serviced by Fred at Boxworks just before I leave. I'll keep those tyres on. Those tyres are done 2,000 miles. So I'm hoping those tyres will get me to Denmark, where when I go to my cousin's place and we have a look around his race bike, his Kramer, which I've talked about before, so there'll be some tyres at his place waiting for me, and he'll chuck those tyres on. And then I'll schlep round, but I'll have gone over my service schedule. I won't be getting it serviced en route because I want to do a thing with Fred where when I get back, excuse me, we drop the oil and we see what the oil looks like, we see what the filters look like, and we see at what 7,000 miles in what will be a 35-day journey does to a motorbike. Well, I know it'll turn that bike into be worth about £1. But other than that, what does it do to the internal of the motorbike and how will it hold up? But we're changing the mirrors, we're changing the handguards, we're changing the bash plate, putting crash bars on. Then I've got to figure out all the luggage. I will be filming every day, and the whole trip will be filmed. And there'll be hopefully shorts every day and a long form every day, if not every day, every 2 days, depending on what I can get done. I will be staying in hotels or people's houses. I will not be camping, not if I can help it, but still early days in the planning, so that remains to be seen. And what I will show you when I get nearer the time of sort of going, all of the things that I've had to spend, or that I've chosen to spend, let's say, and then my budget for the whole trip, and then I'll have a look back and see how close to my budget I was in terms of an endeavour. I will be working all the way around the trip, so I have a job as well. So we're testing the bounds of remote working, but it'll be good. For those who might think, why is your wife happy for you to go away for 5 weeks? Because her and my daughter are off to New Zealand for a month in the summer, so this is my month away. Very lucky to be able to do that, and I'm very excited doing it on that bike. Now I've started the planning, I just want to get it done, but I need to get fit. I can't afford my body to be the weak link in this. I don't want to be halfway up a fucking mountain and blowing out my arse when I've got to get to a stop. So yeah, we'll see what happens over the next 3 or 4 months, how skinny I get, and how fit I get to be able to put myself through quite a torturous trip, I suppose. I will take recommendations for a seat. If anybody's got any advice on that, that's some piece of advice I would take. Anyway, if you want to follow this journey, I'd really appreciate that. And not only that, if you'd like to, there is advertising space on my bike. So if you've got a company or a business or want a sticker to be stuck on my bike, there is real estate for sale. Anyway, with that, if you could hit subscribe, cheers.